Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. This situation stinks. Peter Mandelson maintained a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after he had been convicted. This wasn't before anyone knew about his grotesque crimes, not when it was being whispered about, but after his conviction, when the world knew exactly who and what Jeffrey Epstein was. Yet before his appointment as ambassador to the United States, senior Labour MPs went on television and social media to praise him, members sitting opposite today. They knew the facts, because by that point, it was already public knowledge that Mandelson had stayed in Epstein's New York home while Epstein was serving time as a convicted paedophile. When asked about this last September, the Prime Minister told this House he had full confidence in Peter Mandelson, despite knowing about his close relationship with Epstein. That's right, the leader of the Labour Party and the Prime Minister had full confidence in a man that was besties with a convicted What a disgrace. And what we are witnessing is not accountability, it is the Westminster Club protecting its own. Madam Deputy Speaker, this is not just about this Labour government. Large sections of the media also play their part. Mandelson didn't simply drift back into public life, he was rehabilitated, rebranded, presented as respectable. He was welcomed on the BBC's flagship programme as a wiser elder statesman, given differential treatment by The Spectator, The Guardian and The Sunday Times. These are the same outlets that lecture relentlessly about standards and morality when it is a trade unionist, a protester, a working class person who puts a foot wrong. But when it's one of their own, the tone changes. Suddenly it's about experience, pragmatism, it's about getting things done. This is how power protects itself. And what about the victims, the girls and the young women abused by Epstein? They received an apology by Mandelson only after sustained pressure. It was not freely given, not offered because it was the right thing to do. And until recently, he still enjoyed the Zone 2 dinner party treatment, with magazine-style PR photos of Mandelson being published only this week. Then, Madam Deputy Speaker, there is the money. At least $75,000 was transferred from Epstein to Mandelson. He says he can't remember the transactions. If £75,000 landed in the bank account of almost anyone else in the country, they definitely would remember. To claim otherwise is contemptuous and goes to the heart of why trust in politics is collapsing. If those in power can't remember vast sums of money flowing into their accounts, then why should the public believe that they are acting in their public interest? Madam Deputy Speaker, this has only come to light because American authorities released the Epstein files. We are told that the UK has no record of Mandelson's emails. If those files hadn't been released, he would have sailed back into public life, shielded by friendly journalists and wealthy backers. That's how broken our political culture has become. And now further emails have emerged, raising serious questions about whether market-sensitive information was leaked while he was at the heart of government. When ordinary people make mistakes, they pay the price. Nurses are disciplined, teachers are suspended, care workers lose their jobs. But if you belong to the Westminster Club, you can be linked to one of the most notorious predators of our time and still reach the top.
Would the Honourable Member give way?
Yes.
I thank the Honourable Member for giving way. I wonder if she agrees with me that potentially every single working person, retired person and child in this country has paid the price for some of these comments. Because if Mandelson did indeed share information relating to the financial crash, it has cost everybody a fortune, and he owes every member of this country an apology.
I absolutely agree. This is a systemic issue, and that's why I support the calls for an independent, judge-led public inquiry. Madam Deputy Speaker, yes, Peter Mandelson was eventually removed as US Ambassador, but he remained in the House of Lords and as a Labour Party member until 3 days ago. So the Labour Party cannot pretend that this was some distant mistake quietly corrected a long time ago. This was a decision they defended until they were forced to abandon it, and he should never have been appointed in the first place. If this Labour government believes that the appointment was proper, then it should stop stonewalling and prove it. Publish all the documents, the vetting, the advice, the risk assessments, the correspondence, and the contracts, including Palantir. Instead, the Prime Minister tabled an amendment to withhold any papers deemed prejudicial to national security or international relations. We know that when governments fear scrutiny, they wrap themselves up in the flag and hope that the public will look away. If there's nothing to hide, why carve out broad exemptions in advance? And the government's last-minute manuscript amendment is a desperate attempt to control dissent on the Labour backbenches. This is not accountability, it is not transparency, it's delay and it's damage control. They are kicking the can down the road in the hope that the outrage will fade and the questions will go away. Well, they won't. And that's why I'm supporting calls for an independent, judge-led public inquiry. Madam Deputy Speaker, this is not just about Peter Mandelson. It is about a system that protects the powerful and disregards the public. The victims deserved better, the British public deserve better. So the government must publish all the documents and the corruption and the cover-up and stop insulting the public with empty words when what we need is transparency. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister said he had full confidence in Peter Mandelson. While the public has no confidence in him, he should do the honourable thing and resign.
Mr.